Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. You're listening to the RX Daily Dose. Today's episode is being recorded for Monday, October 10th, and I'm your host, Ian Parnagoni. We update this podcast for healthcare providers, medical professionals, and anyone who has an interest in drug updates. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all your favorite podcast platforms and social media, including iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram. All links can be found in the show notes below. So just two quick updates from the FDA this week: a new indication for Boostrix and updated fact sheet for Evusheld, after some not so promising results with the new Omicron variant. As always, feel free to skip around. I'm going to include times in the show notes so you get the updates that interest you. So first up this week, the FDA approved Boostrix, which is a tetanus toxoid, reduced diphtheria toxoid, and acellular pertussis vaccine adsorbed, and commonly referred to as Tdap, for immunization during the third trimester of pregnancy to prevent pertussis, commonly known as whooping cough, in infants younger than 2 months of age. Pertussis is a common respiratory disease in the United States, resulting in frequent outbreaks. It is also called whooping cough because of the whooping sound that someone makes when gasping for air after a fit of coughing. Most serious pertussis cases, hospitalizations, and deaths occur in infants younger than 2 months of age who are too young to be protected by the childhood pertussis vaccine series. According to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, 4.2% of total cases of pertussis reported in the United States in 2021 were in infants younger than 6 months of age, and approximately 31% required hospitalization. When the Boostrix vaccine is given during pregnancy, it boosts antibodies in the mother, which are transferred to the developing baby. Boostrix was initially approved by the FDA in 2005 as a single dose for booster immunization against tetanus, diphtheria, and pertussis in individuals 10 through 18 years of age. Subsequently, the FDA has also approved Boostrix to include use in individuals 19 years of age and older, and to include use of an additional dose 9 years or more after the initial dose of a Tdap vaccine. The FDA's approval of Boostrix has always included its use during pregnancy to protect the vaccinated individual. Today's approval is specific to use in pregnancy to prevent pertussis in infants younger than 2 months of age. Since 2012, the CDC has recommended the use of Tdap vaccines during the third trimester of each pregnancy. The determination of effectiveness of Boostrix administered during the third trimester to prevent pertussis among infants younger than 2 months of age was based on a reanalysis of the Boostrix relevant data from an observational case-controlled study of Tdap vaccine effectiveness. The FDA found these real-world data as providing real-world evidence to support this approval. In this reanalysis, data from 108 cases of pertussis in infants younger than 2 months of age, including 4 cases whose mothers received Boostrix during the third trimester, and 183 control infants who did not have pertussis, including 18 whose mothers received Boostrix during the third trimester, resulted in a preliminary estimate of Boostrix as 78% effective in preventing pertussis among infants younger than 2 months of age when administered during the third trimester of pregnancy. This preliminary estimate of effectiveness was updated using data from published observational studies. These statistical analyses provided estimates of effectiveness that are consistent with the preliminary estimate of 78%. The safety of Boostrix administered during the third trimester of pregnancy was assessed in a randomized placebo-controlled study with a non-US formulation of Boostrix. The FDA considers the safety data from the non-US formulation relevant because it contains the same components as the US formulation of Boostrix, except that the non-US formulation contains more aluminum per dose. The study included approximately 680 pregnant individuals to whom about 340 received the non-US formulation of Boostrix, and of whom about 340 received saline placebo. After childbirth, the placebo recipients were then vaccinated with the non-US formulation of Boostrix. The rates of reported side effects following receipt of the non-US formulation of Boostrix administered during pregnancy were consistent with the rates following receipt of the non-US formulation of Boostrix administered to study participants after childbirth. The study did not identify any vaccine-related adverse effects on pregnancy or on the fetus or newborn. In previous clinical studies, the most commonly reported side effects by individuals who received Boostrix were pain, redness at the injection site, headache, fatigue, and gastrointestinal symptoms. Boostrix is administered as a single 0.5 ml dose, and the additional approval was granted to GlaxoSmithKline Biologics. And also this week, the FDA added important information to the authorized fact sheets for tixagevimab, co-packaged with silgavimab, which goes by brand name Evusheld, to inform healthcare providers and individuals receiving Evusheld of the increased risk of developing COVID-19 when exposed to variants of SARS-CoV-2 that are not neutralized by Evusheld. Detailed neutralization data can be found in the revised authorized fact sheet for healthcare providers. Healthcare professionals should inform patients of this risk and advise patients who develop signs or symptoms of COVID-19 to test for SARS-CoV-2 infection and promptly seek medical attention, including starting treatment for COVID-19 as appropriate if they test positive. Evusheld is currently the only option for pre-exposure prophylaxis for COVID-19 and is authorized under emergency use authorization for use in immunocompromised individuals who may not mount an adequate response to COVID-19 vaccination, and for individuals for whom COVID-19 vaccination is not recommended due to a history of a severe adverse reaction. It is authorized to be administered every 6 months. The use of Evusheld is not a substitute for COVID-19 vaccination, and individuals for whom COVID-19 vaccination is recommended should get vaccinated. Individuals who received Evusheld but who develop COVID-19 remain eligible for use of any of the available treatments for COVID-19 if the criteria for use are met. The FDA continues to recommend Evusheld as an appropriate option for PrEP to prevent COVID-19, in combination with other preventative measures like getting vaccinated and boosted as recommended, as Evusheld still offers protection against many of the currently circulating variants and may offer protection against future variants. Prescribers should monitor the CDC regional variant frequency data and refer to the table of variants detailed in the fact sheet for healthcare providers for the latest data on the neutralization activity of Evusheld against SARS-CoV-2 variants in your area. Prescribers should discuss the risk of developing COVID-19 infection with patients receiving Evusheld. I'll include a link to the Evusheld fact sheet in the notes below. And that's all I have for right now. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll include all links in the show notes below, so please go back and check those out too. Please connect with me on any of your social media platforms and give me feedback on what you heard today. I'd love to know what you thought about the episode. And as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcasts. And thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.